So these two countries, they understand the importance of using media platform to drive, to promote their destinations. I will not want to talk about tourism because Our Excellency has really dealt very well with that particular angle. Let me quickly move to the role of the media. Media contributes 80% of tourism revenue, and that's it's a simple fact. And tourism contributes just about 25% of media revenue. We might be wondering, how can media contribute 80% to tourism revenue? I will still come back to that later. The role of the media in tourism industry is always ever growing. The media play a crucial role in putting emerging destinations onto global tourist map and helping to boost the local economy. The relationship between media is vital and complex. Now I'm going to come back home a little bit on this particular angle. Thanks for the emergence of the COVID that we experienced recently. Now they have a platform anchored by our ambassador Ikechi Yoko, known as Nigeria's Seven Wonders. Recently, I think for 12 consecutive weeks, we were discussing on various domestic tourist sites in Nigeria. And I can see, and if you can agree with me, I don't know if you are part of that particular program during that 12 weeks. Through that particular forum, Nigeria's Seven Wonders, we were able to change the narrative. We were able to promote, we were able to showcase so many unknown destinations within Nigeria. And within a very few period, through the great efforts of the media, these unknown destinations are really becoming a mecca to so many tourists within Nigeria. In Nigeria, travel and tourism have specialized pages, as I said earlier. And because of the significance, because of the importance, that is one of the main reasons why an association like Association of Nigerian Journalists and Writers of Journalists, ANJES, was established about 3 decades ago. The vast majority of travel is decided upon people who have never been traveled to that particular destination and therefore depend on media reports. That is the power of the media when you are talking about tourism promotion. Someone can just stumble on a particular write-up, and before you know it, he or she will get vaccinated and will make a strong decision that he or she has visited that particular destination. Look at South Africa, look at Dubai, look at UK, name those countries. So many people have not been there before, but because of what they read about those cities, as we know, that is one of our strong tools through the internet. Information and various articles on destination can be found, which give traveler an added advantage. Let me quickly move to the effect of media on tourism. Like I said, media contributes or is the engine room to the tune of about 80% to the revenue being generated through tourism. How are those revenue coming in? They come in through various write-offs from various media platforms in form of foreign exchange earnings. Tourism expedition will help generate incomes to the host economy, which stimulates the necessary investment for financial growth in various economic sectors. Some countries, as we know, may accelerate growth by insisting that visitors bring a certain amount of foreign currency for each day of the duration of their stay. because they know what they are going to benefit. A significant indicator of the role of international tourism is generation of foreign exchange, and in 83% of countries, tourism is one of the leading 5 export categories. This accounts for the main source of foreign exchange of this country. At the same time, media, one of their positive effects on tourism is contribution to government revenue. Taxes generated by direct contribution on income from tourism, employment, and business, and direct levies made on tourism, e.g. departure taxes, indirect contributions arrive via tax and duties, charge of services and goods supplies to tourists. If you look at this, you can see how the governments of various countries are making money through tourism, and how are they able to get to this point? How are they able to realize that? Those various positive impacts of journalists who have written or have said something nice about their destinations. At the same time, through the media impact on tourism, it creates employment opportunity. At the same time, through media impact, they have positive effect on stimulation of infrastructure investment. As we know, tourism can stimulate ordinary local government to make much needed infrastructure improvements, better water and sewage systems, road electricity, public transportation, and telephone amenities can all benefit from such investment. You see, invigorate, encourage, and improve the life of the residents. And how are the governments going to make these infrastructures available? Through what the travel and tourism journalists expose or reveal. At the same time, one of the positive effects of media on tourism is to local economy. The media about a new destination now in a little town somewhere in Oyo State as Idiri. And within a very short time, just click on Google Idiri as a tourist destination started appearing on the global tourism map. And within a very short period, lots of people, even as I'm talking now, Idiri will still be entertaining some tourists. It means in the last 3-4 weeks, Idiri now, the local people have been enjoying high number traffic of tourists to that small city. And what does that mean? These tourists, in one way or the other, they are going to spend their money in that local community. The environment now relies heavily on the assets of tourism revenue as often used amongst other in economic value of protected area. Other revenue are not so easily quantified, as not all of tourist spend is formally logged. Revenue is earned from tourism via informal labor, such as street render, guides, and drivers. Even ordinary Okada riders in Idiri town now will just be praying that so this is what tourism can be bringing to them on daily basis. And that is one of the positive impacts of media promotion of that particular destination. I'm going to talk about the impact of social media on tourism. If you are talking about media and you have not discussed the impact of social media, that is not talking. Social media has made a huge impact on tourism industry. Consumers engage with social networking nowadays sites to research trips, make informed decisions about their travels, and share their personal experiences of particular hotels, sites, restaurants, anything that has to do with the trips. I will still revert back to that Idiri. because some few people visited the destinations. They will come to their Facebook, to their Instagram, bombarded it with various captivating photographs. Before you know it, one or two people will develop interest. That is the power of social media. Social media sites in the internet today are used more frequently than the physical participation of individuals in a communication. Some of the popular social media sites are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. Social media have a huge impact on all walks of life. Tourism industry is no exception. We often rely on social media network to learn about new travel destinations and plans our various trips. Indeed, social media play a big role in tourism, especially in decision making. Marketing campaign, creation, communications with customers. Also, tourism depends to a high extent on the verbal message, opinion, recommendations, and comments on social. It is important to know that the communication in virtual world are very rapid, and it is no longer necessary for the individual to wait and interact physically to be able to understand the actual situation of destination. We know what Instagram is doing nowadays. We know what Twitter is doing nowadays. If we are talking about promoting destination, if we are talking about promoting one particular tourist site or the other, it is now possible through social media sites to be able to get the word of mouth references. It is also possible to have access to the virtual impact of the destination on the social media site and the internet site. This makes taking a decision easier. That is, you don't even need to consult anybody at times before you can take a decision that our nations write review about the destination that is on their various social media and talk about their experiences during their travels. Social media play a significant role in many aspects of tourism, especially in information search and decision-making behavior, tourism promotion, and in focusing on best practices for interaction with customers. I will want to conclude. It is evident that the generation are becoming more and more attuned to surfing for the needs rather than to physically look for them. The pace of life has become so fast-paced that very few have leisure time to interact socially, physically, and it has become more convenient as the communication is immediate and rapid, which saves time, money, and period. As a result, it is evident that the costs have been reduced for the tourism industry. The business flow has increased, even though because of the current inflation volumes are low. Social media and have proved and it is noticed that go viral as easily as good news because there is nothing that have advantage that will not have its or her own disadvantage. Therefore, at the same time, can be a threat. I want to thank you for giving me for this short presentation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mololu. Thank you for letting us know the
Hello, can you hear
impact
me?
of the media. We can hear you. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me?
I don't think he can hear you. His
Okay, I
network
think it's
has
a
been.
network issue. Okay, now it's time for us to open the floor for our very own award winner, the CEO of Special Calls in the Imperial House of Culture, WIBAT. She's going to talk to us about cultural tourism development. You're welcome. The floor is yours. You can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess Mrs. Khan is very important to me because I have to wave an outing just to be on this program, and I really appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
I have to be. I'm supposed to be in a palace in Ogun State where a king is celebrating his 60th birthday, but I know if I'm going on the way, the network might be funny. Two of your speakers, myself and Mr. Omololu, were speaking from Ibadan, I guess, and the network has been so funny. It's not really. I had to use another network to connect again. Thank you so much. The Excellency, the wife of Governor of Sokoto, Ajia, the NANTA President, Mrs. Susan, Madam Sophia, Madam Khan, I really appreciate, and every moderator and some of us on this platform. This is really a great avenue for women to stand, see something differently, change, and move forward, create wealth, and be happy. That's the most special thing. We should be happy with the wealth we've created while working. You know, some people do businesses, they're not still happy in the business, and they're making a lot of money, but they're still not happy. All right, today I'll be talking about cultural tourism. My stand or the way I speak might be different from others. I'm not really a speech person, how do you call them? The motivational speaker. I'm just a writer, write, go up, talk about something. So my way might be different. I'm sorry, you just have to take me that way. I'm going to talk about cultural tourism development. A few years, about 5 to 10 years, I stood up from a lot of people, challenges, and so much traditional belief to put in place cultural tourism. Speak to people about it, that your religion and traditional belief is different. Traditional belief and culture is different. You can actually be earning money from tourism, from creative tourism, from cultural tourism, and you will still stand in whatever religion you are. I'm a Christian. Very funny. I hardly tell people that even though I'm in cultural program, my religion has never changed, and I still stand to say that. All right. In cultural tourism, you see, it's one of the tools for economic development. It creates economic growth, attracts visitors, tourists from anywhere in the world. For example, someone from China can visit India and still will not change his or her belief because he or she is a tourist. They will do according to the plan of that particular country, and they will enjoy what they went there for. Maybe historical, arts, scientific, or any other lifestyle in that community. They will still enjoy it. I actually work on programs on, can I say, YouTube, and they were talking about belief, religion, and tourism. They place them in different parts, and by the end of the program, you could see definitely that tourism culture and cultural program really, really can make you wealthy if you know how to do it. The relationship between culture and tourism is very important. Culture and heritage separate people from all over the world, from what you believe on, from what you can do, from what you want to enjoy. I can leave Nigeria to China to enjoy what they're doing. I've been to Indonesia for some cultural program. Their dance is different from the one we have here, and it's beautiful. To them, it's the best. To me, I'm seeing another style that we don't have in Nigeria. That's the way I view it. And the cultural program, it's something that can give you another part, another wealth from another angle. Look at festivals. I will pick Olojo. Olojo festival simply means in Yoruba, the day was made. The one they're doing in Ile-Ife, Osun State, by through Oni Risha, the Oba Enitan Ogunwusi. If you check through the YouTube, you see thousands, don't let me say millions, of people visiting. They will use the hotel from all over the world. They will buy food. They will buy beads. They will dress and buy the local items they have over there in Osun State. Look at Osun Osogbo. Look at Osun Osogbo that they have in same Osun State. You have Brazilian, because I remember in 2019, I was the people that that we had a package called Karele Odua. Come home, you, the children of, somebody from Nigeria anyway, or Yoruba terminology. And we brought over 2 or 3 white people from Brazil, because we went to the embassy, we dropped details, we went to German embassy. So German, Brazilians, Trinidad and Tobago citizens, 203, they came to Nigeria for that particular program. Guess what? There's this particular lamp that they used to put oil, bread oil, palm oil, and you will light it. It works. It doesn't die. They bought each for $100. Can you sell it to your citizen in Nigeria for $100? That is to tell you, you can benefit from several things in the body of tourism. Cultural tourism should not be looked at from the religion aspect. Another aspect I want you to look at. Do you know the origin of Halloween in London? Halloween actually started from Scotland. Have you ever looked deeply on how they started? It's an occultic festival of worshiping sun. They turn it into multi-billion-dollar program. They celebrate that every year. Even the British, the Scottish, they are not in London that particular year or time that they want to do it. If they're in Dublin, if they are in Australia, if they are in another part of the world, they take that holiday off and they celebrate that this thing. You know what they did? They removed the ritualistic content of that particular festival and they're making money from it. Cultural festival should be something anybody that calls his or herself tour operator, travel agency, consultant should be able to define and work with, irrespective of the religion you have. Tourism is recognized as one of the largest industries in the world. In the year 2018, tourism was, people that have traveled between one country to the other, as of 2008, was 9.922 million. But in 2020, we should be looking at over 2 billion people that have traveled in between. The economic development does not change, it keeps increasing. Let's look at Bali. Do you know the world's most expensive resort in the world? It's Indonesia, Bali. Do you know what they are using? That same thing you left in your country that you're not using. Bamboo. The most expensive resort in Bali is carved with bamboo. I used to post some of them on my Facebook, and it amazed me that we have that and we're not using, we're not utilizing, we're not talking about it, we're not selling it, and we feel this is religion and we should not tamper with it. I can sell festival. I've created so many festivals. There's a particular one that when I wrote the UNESCO, they approved it. But I could not make that festival happen in Paris because of Oni. He traveled to US and he was unable to come back early for that program, so I have to shave it. You know, when I wrote that proposal to UNESCO, they gave me itinerary of what they want. That is a festival. And people in Nigeria look at festival or cultural program like, oh God, I'm a Christian. I don't want to go where they're doing masquerade. Who told you that? They're doing a Agugugu festival, the fish festival. It's a marvelous thing. Do you know how many people come over there to watch? The Kano Durban is a very, very brilliant one. Look at Oju Dioba in Ogun State. Different kind of attires. The one in Iwo, different kind. I'm looking at where your state, you as Sophia, you would tell somebody from your state, your king, you will walk up to your king, Kabiyesi, king, emir, who the title of your king. Please, I want to bring team of these women. I want us to do something about the cultural program. We want to redefine it, remove the ritualistic content from it so that we can make money. Bring in investor. Keep writing that for myself as I am. I don't think there's any embassy I cannot visit. No, you will tell me no, and I will go. You will tell me yes, I'll continue with whatever you want. You visit the embassy, drop proposals about festival you are looking at. Remove the ritualistic content for the kings to do. When we went this tourism day, World Tourism Day, we went to Ideri. The commissioner a day before told me I spoke with the king to do anything within their power that particular town require if they're bringing numbers of people. Nobody should have accident. Nobody should fall sick. They should just go and come back peacefully. The king did. That is the ritualistic aspect of it from the community, and everybody enjoyed themselves. It's one of the finest. It's one of the finest. World Tourism Day I've attended. Another one, Ikogosi in Ekiti is celebrating. Ekiti is celebrating just Kogosi. I happen to be the marketing consultant for the tourism ministry in Ekiti. And during the period, we taught 16 local governments to get every other thing the government is not aware they have. I was shocked to learn about different kind of information that myself I'm not aware. Some people from Ekiti are not aware. One, they have another stream with 9 hot and cold water. They have not been selling that. They've just been selling just Ikogosi because that is the constant one they have information about. They've not been selling the 9 part, they call it Onipa Meson. It's another powerful place in Emure, Ekiti. They are not selling it because nobody knows about it. We went there, we saw a masquerade that can sit on head. And that is what the UNESCO or World Tourism, whatever, they want to come and visit. Do you know what they're benefiting in Benin Republic? They have different kind of festival that give them money. They have voodoo festival for the people that can attend, and they're making billions of money from it. So many festivals that we should be talking about. We look where we're supposed to be making money from it. There's a place in Mexico that I heard that because it's salty, whenever anybody die in that place, they don't decompose. I forgot, the name is funny like this. It's in Mexico. Tourists tour that place. They go there maybe because they believe if they take part of their soil or their sand, when they will live longer, people live longer in that kind of place. They live over 100 in that particular place in Mexico. So we should, as a tour consultant, tour operator, consultant in cultural tourism. Some of the problem, like I put some things down, but I'm not really going through it because of the passion I have for the cultural program. We as a female, if you check any festival, the numbers, if they're counting, if you're coming through the gate, the numbers of female that will enter for any festival is more than the male. I'm telling you. Because I've been to several festivals within Southwest and even outside Southwest. If you go to Calabar Carnival, check the numbers of female there. You will see that it's the female that is actually driving tourism. But because we want to put ourselves, want to subject ourselves to the lowest career, that's why we're there. We could be up. Look at Madam Susan now, Eddie Nanta. I am pleased. I'm one of the people that I was telling people that if you don't vote for her, I'm not voting for president in Nanta, because I'm looking at a woman speaking. I want us to visit embassy in entourage of female, talking to a male, and he listened to us that we can change things. And the point that we're making, that we want to change things. My sisters and the men on this platform, we're already changing things. So many things is changing already. Look at Abe Keras. She's the director for Abe Keras Travel and Talk. She's handling hotel. She's selling. She's promoting them. For now, I've just changed from that attitude of promotion and not making money. I'm doing promotion and making money. If I'm talking about one hotel, okay, we're dialoguing. Are you giving me 5 rooms when anytime I want to visit? We should be talking about that. Or are you paying me money? We should be talking about that, because we have been marginalized in the long way. Now that we want to stand up, we should stand up on a very good platform. This platform of women in business and tourism is one superb platform that I really, really want us to grow, so that we will be able to talk that, okay, when this thing was starting, we had the speaker, we talk about things, and things, so many things have changed. The key word is culture, heritage, tourism, sustainable tourism. Tourism is now viewed as political development necessity around the world, not just within Nigeria. Another thing I want to speak about. I'm sorry if there's any commissioner here on this platform. I'm just sorry, but it's the fact. Majority, the 36 states we have in Nigeria, hardly will you get 10 that is tourism strong person. They either put a pharmacist, a lawyer, a dentist, I don't know, to head that ministry. And you will look at them, they'll be looking for people like me and you to come and talk to them about what tourism is all about, what they can do in that department. Why are you not putting the right person? Can you put professor of dance in X department? No, the government can. But why are they killing tourism from the grassroots? Because by the time you put a lawyer to head the Ministry for Culture and Tourism, how do you want it to thrive? How do you want it to stand? How do you want a lawyer to participate or package in correct festival without having issues? If not that, with the assistance and help of so many people, journalists, tour operator, travel consultants, and the rest of them. Tourism is not viewed as political economy development necessity. Some of the problem we have, I've talked about it in the beginning, focus on offering quality. For example, include high quality accommodation and restaurant in your cultural packages. That particular state, look at their major. Now, if you talk about Edo, Ondo, they have the best bid in Nigeria. If you are doing a festival in Ondo and Edo, you should be targeting your customer to be buying beads. If you are targeting a festival in Oyo,
I think she's frozen, Joanne.
Yeah, I think she's having network issues there.
Ibadan, what's happening? Ibadan is having. Okay, John, I think we should move. Is she back?
I think she's back. Nana, is she back? Okay, she's
Well, I'm
back.
sorry, my network just went off. I'm sorry. Can I go?
No, she's back now.
Okay, now communicate that you know the destination.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I can hear you. Hello.
Go on.
Hello.
Ma'am.
All right. How many?
You
communicate. Yeah. You have to go deep into
5
that particular.
to go.
All right. Okay. All right. You have to know that destination and history of that particular.
Please, might have about 5 minutes to go.
No problem.
Can
I'm
you
fine
hear
with
me,
that.
ma'am?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. You have to know the history of that destination you are selling. Offer packages with a wide variety of cultural activities. Now, varieties of cultural activities. If Olojo Festival in Southwest, and another one in Edo and Ondo State is for November, December. The tourists will be able to enjoy some of them. We have to communicate, develop itinerary with special cultural themes. Tourism create job, new business opportunity, and strengthen local economy. It protects natural and cultural resources, which improve the quality of life and residents. So we just look at this and get more things together. Cultural tourism includes, besides all visiting historical sites, sightseeing, providing opportunity for enjoyment and parts of human achievement. As part of domestic tourism, visiting such places is an object of admiration, national pride, and rediscovering of achievement of our forefathers, the ancestors. You yourself that you're selling a package to a visitor, have you been there? Have you been to that particular place you want to sell to? I've been to like 40, 50 destinations. I've visited over 50 to 60 palaces within Nigeria. The one in Iboland, the one in Edo, I've been to the palace of Oba of Benin. I've been to some places in the north, because we just need to put this program together to be able to talk about it when you're selling to your visitor. Thank you so much for this honor and for having me on this platform. And I think with all my combined analysis on cultural program, we women will look more into it and sell more.
Add value.
The local content and the cultural content that will add value to us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate having me.
Thank you, Relufumi. Right. Thank you so much. You. Yeah, you got this eye-opening cultural analysis, or what analysis, or what will I call it? Yeah. Yes, a lot of people. In fact, somebody called me. She's finding it difficult to log in back.
Wow.
She was just asking, how do you make people not to see that you are not being fetish by participating in this cultural activity? There are a lot of people term it as being fetish. I remember when we went to Accra Wizo last year, we went to the, what do you call it now? The slave castle, and they had a priest, you know, not these local priests that do this thing. Yeah. And he was saying that we should drop money, he will pray with us for which a drink and everything. And I did it, and a lot of people were shocked, like, why did you do it? I said, for heaven's sake, it has nothing to do with my religion, because this is just a tourist priest. Yeah. And you can see the Americans, they're excited, but the Nigerians, the tour operators we went together with, they stayed back. I even took picture with the priest, and they were looking at me as if maybe I become a pagan. Because I took picture with the priest of that place. And I told them, because what I asked our tour guide was, what time do this priest close? He said 5 p.m. I said, what time does it resume? He said 9 a.m. I said, wow, they are just trying to recreate it. Yeah. This is just a tourism priest, just to create that thing, to make it look real. Meanwhile, our people ran back and they were like, as if they talked to the priest. Their next destination is hellfire. So I think we need to create that awareness that culture
and tradition
and religion and tradition, they are two different things. Especially traditions and culture that does not affect your religious beliefs. Because we don't take time to understand these things. That's why we just term it, they are fetish. If a masquerade is dancing, it's fetish. To be revealed. So thank you very much. This is really.
Can I quickly drop this, please? Just 2 minutes or 1 minute. I've been going to US for the past maybe 20, 30 years. And every time I visit US, I go to museum. You know why? I want to see the new thing I didn't see the last time. Do you know the new thing saying? Nigerian products. Do you believe that in a particular palace, we went there, and there's a particular, how do they call this thing that use a pillar? A particular pillar in the palace was removed from the root. And I asked them, they said, one of the sons of that palace sold it to someone from Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Because it's a powerful axe. It's a very powerful thing. Now, look at our people running for this particular program. Look at Oni of Ife, for example. During the Muslim festival, you will go there, join them, pray. During the Christian, whatever, you will be singing, Babalawo power, powerless power. Go and check that video on internet. It's over there. Come and check.
I think we lost her there again. We
did.
Yeah, but the nutshell is we actually need to really change the narrative, because we also had an experience when we were in Ekpe just a few days back, and some people, we went to the ancient Iroko tree that was over 500 years, and we have some tour operators that they won't come down from the bus to go close to it, not to talk of snapping pictures. And they also took us to one of the priests to pray for us. They said the priest has been waiting for us since morning. When we got there, a lot of people didn't come out from the bus. Because they feel their belief. Let them understand that your religion, neither is it the same as what you do for a living. If you are a tour operator, you should be able to handle everything well and separate it. So I think it's part of the message that we need to really put out there for tour operators. So thank you so much, Edu. Thank you. We know you're a very passionate person. And
she is passionate about culture.
Yeah, very, very.
She is.
And you know that in anything we do, in anything women do, we need our husbands to support us. We need our fathers to support us. And here in the house, we have our grandfather. He's the father to us all. He's the chairman of All States Travel, also the chairman of Zuma World Resort. He's a former DG of NCDC. He is the former president of NANSA. He actually laid some foundations which we are currently enjoying in NANSA now. So I would like us to open the floor for Dr. Muzali Dantata to talk to us about recognizing the investment opportunity in tourism business in Nigeria. You're welcome, sir. Kindly unmute yourself. You're muted, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, am I okay now?
Yes,
Yes, sir, you're welcome, sir.
Well, thank you. The topic of my paper is recognizing the investment in tourism business in Nigeria. Now, to recognize the investment opportunities, I think we should go back to the root and define what is tourism. Tourism has been defined over the years in many different forms. When I first came into tourism, I started a travel agency about 30 years ago. Tourism was a leisure industry. It's about sightseeing. In some languages, like Hausa, it is called Yawon Bude Ido, the travel of opening the eye. So that was the traditional definition given to tourism. Even in Europe, it all started as, moving to see new places, maybe from Paris to Rome, from London to. But over the years, tourism has been redefined as an activity of people traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment, whether for business or leisure or religion, for whatever purpose. So the purpose is no more important. It's just about moving temporarily. Because if you don't come back to your domain, that makes you an immigrant. For example, if you're going to Europe or United States, their main concern when they're issuing a tourist visa is you are coming back. Whether you're going for education, whether you're going on medical ground or business, the fact that you are coming back makes you a tourist. If you are not, you are an immigrant. So having said that, tourism has been categorized in several ways. Domestic tourism and international tourism, for example. Domestic tourism is about products consumed locally. And you find it full of Nigerians. That's domestic tourism. Or you go to Oshun or Shobo Festival or the Argungun Fishing Festival, and you find majority, maybe 90%, are Nigerians. Now, on the other side of the divide is the international tourism. There are some very popular tourism products around the world where you find even the visiting the international tourists outnumbering the local people. And then there's also the inbound and outbound tourism. Inbound tourism is about receiving tourists coming, and this is mostly the job of tour operators. They receive tourists coming into Nigeria. And outbound is mostly by travel agents who sell tickets for tourists going outside to foreign destinations. So that's your own inbound and outbound. And of course, earlier I mentioned leisure and business tourism. Leisure is, a visit in which you are not earning any income, or there's no business situation. But business tourism, on the other hand, is about traveling on business. You have something to do, which before it was not recognized as a tourism business activity, but today it is very much recognized. And I dare say that it's even competing almost neck to neck with leisure. People traveling, let's say for Dubai, to buy goods and come back and sell, or to China, they are still regarded as tourists, even though they have business considerations and their trips are temporary. So tourism has been categorized in so many ways. So today it has no, any head and fast group of types of tourism. So you have sightseeing tourism, conference tourism, medical tourism. A lot of people, especially Nigerians, go to India, go to Dubai, go to Egypt. That's medical tourism for you, and shopping tourism. So you just add tourism to a word, and then you have a new category of tourism. Sports tourism is also there. So in a nutshell, tourism is about movement, and the movement creates activities, and the activities in turn generate business. And that is the value chain. So once a tourist moves, a visitor moves, then that same visitor is categorized as a tourist. So having said that, it's now left to the operator here in Nigeria to identify at what stage or what part of the value chain he or she would enter, open his or her business. And we have already understood the main purpose of tourism is a business. And because to me, personally, if there's no money earned, it's not tourism, even the so-called cultural tourism. In Nigeria, we are fond of having a lot of tourism activities, so-called cultural activities, which are financed by government. I don't want to mention examples, but some of our most famous festivals. Well, let me even mention, let's say, Argungu Fishing Festival, let's say Oshun Oshobo. At the end of the day, I would like to see how much was earned, not necessarily by the government, because most of them are backed by government, but the follow-up activities, selling souvenirs, conducting tours, how much was generated. But if nothing is generated, or let's say, 100 million naira was spent, and maybe just 5 million naira earned, it's not a very good business. So we have to look at the bottom line. A tourism activity is a business no different from manufacturing, no different from agriculture, not different from any type of business activity. First and foremost, tourism is a business activity. And it has a value chain and people earning money. So this becomes a business which is generated by tourism, which supports many individuals, many companies, and also many national economies around the world. Tourism has a unique aspect and is the only industry that has that. In many industries, the product is taken to the market. Take a typical example of manufacturing. The product is manufactured in the factory and is taken to the market, whether a local market, for example, a product from Ikeja, going to the Nigerian market. It could be international market. We all enjoy Japanese goods, European goods. For example, buying a Toyota car. Most people never visit Japan in their lifetime, but they enjoy Japanese goods, the Toyota, the Sony, and these days now computers. We all enjoy this product, but we don't go to the production site. But in the case of tourism, you have to go to the site to enjoy the product. You can't enjoy Japanese tourism product without going to Japan. Just like you cannot enjoy the wild park in South Africa, you have to go to South Africa, and the same for Nigeria. So for any international tourist to enjoy the Nigerian tourism product, he has to come to Nigeria. Then you could go to Oshun Oshobo, you could go to Argungu, you could go to Yankari Game Park, or Ikewesi in Ekiti. So first and foremost, our main task is to bring the international to Nigeria, and that's where we have to operate as a team. We go to foreign festivals, trade fairs, and tourism fairs, and try to market Nigeria. The NTDC, I used to go there annually and leading, Nigerian private sector. And once the tourists come to Nigeria, then they're also up for grabs because they land in Lagos and stay in Lagos. Only Lagos State will enjoy. And even in Lagos, if they stay in Iteosa or Ikeja, only that local government will enjoy. So there's also need for the local marketing. Once the international tourist arrives at an international airport, whether it's Europe, America, or Nigeria, then the various sectors, the states, the local government, the cities, are trying to woo them to their place. And then once they come to the local government area, then the business owners also now try to attract them to their hotel, to their tourism park, to their restaurant, to their shop. So that's how it's. So tourism is it has multiplier effect, and the whole idea is when the tourists come, you pick his or her pocket. Tourism is a legalized picking of pocket, because the idea you want the tourist to unload what he came with, the money in his or her pocket. So so that's what tourism is all about. So to me, I feel that we need to understand that from the federal government to the states, the local governments, and also the business owners, because otherwise we come and beat our chest and say, we show pictures of a festival full of people, but we don't know how much was earned, whether by the state government or the federal government or even local individuals. So some of these are even underwritten by states. So because of that aspect that tourism is a business, the World Tourism Organization, the UNWTO, was very concerned and wanted to assist countries to appreciate how much they earn and also companies and individuals earn. And they came up with the tourism satellite account, called TSA for short, which is about measuring the economic contribution of tourism to a national economy. So having said that, traditionally, as I said, tourism was viewed as a leisure industry, but broken down, into two, subsectors. That is the transportation, which is mostly airline today. People travel, by airline. Hardly do they go by sea, though, between a region, they also travel by road. So, and then accommodation, which is about hotels. So these are the two major recognized sectors, the travel and the accommodation sectors. And of course, there's the souvenir industry. A lot of souvenirs are manufactured and then they end up in tourism sites. But however, having said that, it is recognized that tourism is multifaceted. It goes beyond just travel, accommodation, and eating food and enjoying goods and services, which are the destinations. This, you could say, are the direct tourism products, but the indirect products are there, which, because once tourists arrive at a destination, they are consumers. For example, if the Nigerians, the moment you arrive in a destination these days, you buy a local SIM card. Hardly do you now, even in hotels, do you make use of the hotel in-house phone. So you buy a SIM card. So the service provider, MTN, Glo, Airtel, they are earning money. And after buying that SIM card, you continue buying scratch card for the duration you are in that destination. So indirectly, the communication company like MTN, they are also, tourism beneficiaries. The same thing with Coca-Cola and all these other soft drinks, because the more tourists that come, they also consume. And the same thing with the food industry. So if you have people coming in, if you take even small tourism destinations, let's say like Seychelles, sometimes you may have tourists even outnumbering the local. So most of the food brought in is just for the tourists. So that makes anybody who's into agriculture, production of food or processing of food, also a tourism operator, because he's making money, he has a stake in the number of tourists that come in. We always emphasize that to show that these other sectors ought to contribute in the marketing of tourism, not to look at tourism as mainly airlines, travel agents, tour operators, and hotels. So tourism, that is why tourism is regarded as the biggest industry in the world. Employing over 200 million people directly and also indirectly. by supporting other sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, every sector, even the oil sector, because the more tourists that come, the more movement of cars, and also they are consuming more fuel. So tourism has that unique aspect of it, that it's like an octopus. It is touching on every other industry. So that's why we have to work together to bring the tourists to the country and to the destinations to consume these goods. So having said that, the topic given to me is about recognizing, the investment opportunities. And and some of them are not even directly recognized as tourism industry. For example, opening a shop and selling scratch cards and SIM cards. You're still